Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net, and this is your look ahead video issued on Monday the 16th of November. Thanks again for watching. You'll be only too well aware that we're in for some colder weather by the end of this week, and just interesting always to look at how the model sees the distribution of snow when it occurs. This is the forecast snowfall from 6 o'clock Saturday evening till midnight going into Sunday. You can see the high ground of Scotland running down into northwest England, also down through parts of Wales and into Northern Ireland, seeing a covering of snow. I think it's important we don't get too excited about this one. It's just a normal late November outbreak of cold weather, and the sort really we haven't seen, have we, so far this winter. So yeah, it'll be feeling cold. Yes, there'll be some snow around in places, but I think we've got to keep that in context, really. It is going to be chilly. It's going to be a lot colder than it has been, and it'll be a heck of a shock to the system. But it's nothing particularly dramatic in terms of the impact that it has. Now, just wanted to run through a few things with you, really, because there's so much going on this week. We've got this risk of flooding affecting many western parts of the country, and then we've got severe gales as well, and the first area of severe gales really coming through during the course of Wednesday afternoon. This is the forecast for 3 o'clock on Wednesday, and notice the isobars close together across Southern Ireland running into southern Wales here. Now watch what happens as I just run this sequence through. Notice that area of strong winds crossing Wales, crossing southwest England, the Midlands into southern England during Tuesday evening, and then crossing over mid-evening through East Anglia in the southeast. This could be bringing gusts of up to 60 miles per hour, even inland, during the late part of Tuesday afternoon and into Tuesday evening. Now, whilst not exceptional speeds, that is very strong for inland. So there could be some minor damage perhaps to trees and buildings as that feature moves through. And it does clear into the North Sea eventually by the close of Tuesday into the early hours of Wednesday morning, by which time we've got a weak ridge building in from the west, but still staying pretty breezy, particularly off towards the east. But I think important just to notice that swathe of really strong winds coming through tomorrow. Already mentioned the cold at the end of the week. This is the mean of the 500 millibar flow, the anomalies for the ECMWF on the left here, GFS on the right. And what to notice here is ECMWF making more of the build of the ridge out towards the west of the UK than the GFS is. GFS trying to make it a broader ridge, whereas the ECMWF is trying to make less of it. And ECMWF seeing this trough idea off the east of Newfoundland, the GFS missing that off altogether. So this is for the period from next Monday through to Thursday. And really what it's trying to show is that both go into this side of a northwesterly flow with the ridge building in the Atlantic, and they get rid of the trough off towards the east. So certainly they're settled on a cool idea. It's just how unstable the air, how unsettled the air is when tied up with that northwesterly flow. And of course it then opens up the question as to what exactly happens after that. This is ECMWF 500 millibars, the actual 500 millibar predictions from the ECMWF operational. So this is valid for today, the time here. Just watch as I knock the sequence forward in 24-hour steps what happens here. There's the jet stream flowing through here, where the lines are closer together, and as we just knock through the sequence, you notice the jet with us through tonight. There's Wednesday, Thursday, real strong jet stream blowing across southern parts of the country, screaming through here on Thursday. And then into Friday, we get this northwesterly. We start to pick up this northwesterly flow here during the course of Friday. So that's going to be knocking the flow more into a west to west northwesterly. Doesn't really get into that properly until Saturday. And then we have this ridge building through Greenland, digging down here. Now, if you were watching a few days ago, you'll know how I was talking about this northwesterly flow, watching for some sort of cut-off feature developing down towards the south here, which would then allow more of an easterly to get in for a while before the westerly breaks through once again. Now just watch what the ECMWF does with this flow. Sorry about the phone call, all going a bit mad here. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so this is Sunday. Now look, there's that northwesterly you see the angle of the trough here. Just watch what happens as we knock it on by 24 hours into Monday. First trough moves out of the way. Second one is getting into the back here. So we're getting this northwesterly flow continuing to pile in. And eventually it tries to get some sort of cut-off feature in here as the ridge builds out towards the west of the UK. And that's Wednesday. And it does have now cut off over North Africa with this westerly flow trying to get its act together back in again towards the north. Now, a couple of interesting features on this chart. Another interesting feature is the jet getting down here. So we've got to watch for another cutoff possibly developing in here and the build of the ridge out here. So what might well happen is that that ridge gets squeezed up to here. So we end up with a ridge up here. We end up with sort of cutoff feature in here, and we end up with a cutoff feature somewhere down here. So we get that sort of flow, that sort of flow in here. But what we tend to find then is that the jet, the westerly jet, is somewhat disrupted going through the UK like so. So all in all, we need to just be watching for that development taking place. It puts the UK kind of in a cold situation, so in between lows and highs. But it may be that we're about to go into more of a disrupted pattern for a time. I don't think the cold weather that's coming up this weekend into next week is going to be lasting particularly very long. And that's what this chart is trying to suggest, that yes, it's there, but it's not a long-lasting feature by any means. And you can see here by Thursday the 26th, it still has this broad scale jet across the country with a high built in here. So it certainly isn't a long-lasting hit of winter, but it's what happens after. And I'm wondering if we are perhaps going to lose the strong westerly jet for a short time. Yes, it may try and get back in a little bit later, but I think we're going to lose that overall westerly jet for a short time, but then it probably comes back in during the early part of December. Interesting just to note where the CFS takes us. This is the CFS for December. This is for December. And builds the ridge down to the south, Lothian Heights up towards the north, keeps this westerly jet flowing through. But January looking like this still keeps this stormy idea westerly through here, ridge over here across Eastern Europe. But you know, it's still sticking with these ideas of a strong westerly. And there is February, puts the trough out here, tries to build ridge in here, something going on up here. So a surface high probably building or trying to get going over Scandinavia, which is the sort of theme that we've had going, that something would develop, and it would bring in probably more of an east to southeasterly flow across the east of the UK at times, but there's no denying this is dominated by this west to southwesterly. So the CFS certainly picks up on the idea of these strong westerlies continuing. Yes, we've got chilly weather ahead, but the question is how long does it last? And it doesn't look as if it's going to be in for very long. We'll probably go into a more settle is the wrong word, a less disturbed period at the end of November, early December, but then get set for those westerlies breaking through once again. So the snow geese amongst you, probably no signs just yet of anything too dramatic taking place. I know many of you won't be particularly very pleased with that statement, but that's the way it looks just at the moment. Okay, I'll leave you with that for now. If you need more detail over the next couple of days, particularly on these gales that are ahead, do take a look at the fast forecast. But for now, whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.